Hey everybody, Attorney Somm here. Welcome back. In this video, I'm discussing the impact of bottle size on wine collecting and on wine tasting. The general rule of thumb is that due to the greater ratio of liquid to oxygen, larger formats tend to age much more slowly than smaller formats. That's certainly been my experience as well. I can think of a number of instances where certain wines have benefited and were incredibly fresh and vibrant for their age due to the larger format size. For example, 1982 Bordeaux is approaching about 40 years old now, and in many instances, a number of them have been past peak. I recently had a 3-liter of 1982 Lynch Bages, and that particular bottling was incredibly fresh and vibrant. Other examples include a 66 Magnum of Cheval Blanc that I had at Burns in Tampa. It was incredibly fresh. And also Champagne is another good example. Magnums of Champagne tend to drink much more fresh with age than 750s do. Does that mean it's always a good idea to buy larger bottles? Not necessarily. As with everything, there's pros and cons. Some advantages of purchasing the larger bottles, of course, are that they stay fresh for longer and more vibrant. They also tend to sell at a premium, so if you own them, you can oftentimes sell them for a premium if you go to resell them. Also, if you're anticipating holding on to them for a long time, such as if you bought bottles to commemorate the birth of a child, some other special occasion that you intend to celebrate many years down the road, that may be the best bet because you can count on them to age more slowly and more gracefully than smaller bottles. There are some disadvantages, however. One is cost. Oftentimes they sell at more than a double price premium to a 750 milliliter bottle of wine. So if a standard bottle of wine would cost $100, it's often true that a Magnum would cost much more than $200. That's especially true for popular champagnes such as Dom Pérignon, which can oftentimes sell for triple the price of a standard bottle, if not more. One other problem that's not usually talked about, if there's a flaw with the wine, that's particularly devastating. I've had situations where people have opened up 3 liters that they've been saving to celebrate a birthday or a special occasion, and the entire thing was cork. And so there you lose 4 bottles rather than just one 750. So that's definitely something to keep in mind, as estimates show that up to 2 to 5% or so of wines can suffer from cork taint or some other sort of flaw. Other items to consider are the fact that storage is a bit of a hassle. Certainly Magnum and 3-liter bottles don't fit neatly into the slots that you may have in your cellar, so that's definitely something to keep in mind as well. What about 375 milliliter bottles, or half bottles of wine? This is also an interesting topic, and I'm actually a big fan of half bottles of wine. There's several reasons for that. First, oftentimes they sell at a discount to a 750 milliliter bottle of wine. For example, if the standard bottle of wine would cost $100, you could oftentimes get the half bottle for less than $50. Second, I tend to enjoy my wines with age on them. One of the problems that I have is waiting for regular size bottles or large formats to evolve until it's appropriate to consume them. You don't have as much of a problem with that with the half bottles because they do tend to age more rapidly. And so for me, that's another good choice for that reason. They're also much easier to store as they can fit in a lot of different nooks and crannies in the cellar and oftentimes can fit into slots where standard bottles cannot. So what do you think? What has your experience been with either large formats or with half bottles? Is that something you enjoy, or do you prefer to just go with a standard size bottle? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please smash that like button and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the next one. I come out with wine-related videos like this one at least once a week. Until then, drink well.